Hey, what's up, planty people? Welcome to Tea with the Queen. My special guest is Queen Anthurium WAROCQUEANUM. How do you like your tea? Oh. Cheers. But seriously though, I got all dolled up because we are in the presence of a queen and she is doing so much for me these days. I don't know why. I don't know why she has graced me with this wonderfulness, but I am here for it. I got Queen Anthurium WAROCQUEANUM over here. I got her June 15th. It is now July 25th. So I've had her, you know, a month and 10 days, and, or give or take. I probably had her exactly a month because, you know, shipping and whatnot, but I paid for her a month and 10 days ago. And within that month, she has done so much for me. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly what this lovely specimen has done for me. Her leaf may not be the best, may not be the greatest, may not be the most Instagrammable foliage. But that's okay, because you know what? She is doing the most. She has new growth. She has 3 new growth points where she's going to be sprouting foliage from. She is doing well in Leca. She is producing new Leca roots, and I thought it would be fun to go ahead and rinse out her Leca because she definitely needs it. Her water reservoir definitely has a lot of clay dust in it, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that and go ahead and rinse out any clay residue that is left within the pebbles or left within the pot itself, because she deserves special treatment because she's a lady and she's a queen, just like me. But let's go ahead and get to it. I am so excited to see what her roots look like. As soon as I got her, I immediately put her into Leca. I know I probably should have waited. I think I waited maybe a few days after she arrived. I definitely should have waited at least a week, if not a month, before I transitioned her into a new medium altogether. But YOLO? Do people still say that? Are the kids still saying that these days? Probably not. I'm not hip. But let's get into it. Welcome to yet again another new place. I know that there's probably gonna be a horrible echo, but it's a bathroom and it's kind of hard to not have an echo in a bathroom. So let's go ahead and take Miss Queenie out of her pot. I did have a little root shot to show you guys, which is wonderful. I love seeing new growth, and that's really the only spot that you can actually see some new growth coming out of the pot. But I want to go ahead and take off her little brace and release the beast. Detotem her. That doesn't look great. And let's go ahead and pour the Leca into another Leca container. Oh my gosh, you guys. First of all, the mess I'm making is insane. So I wanted to give her a good rinse because look at all that gunk that's in there. That's a no-no. We want everything to be as clean as possible and as clear as possible. But look at these roots, you guys. Put your anthuriums into Leca. Look at that. She is stunning. I'm not really gonna try and wiggle the Leca off at the moment. I think that that would do more harm than good. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. But there is so much new growth. That is awesome. I had no idea that she was growing that much in there. I mean, I saw like a little tiny little peep of the new growth that you guys saw, but, or I mean the new roots, not the new growth, but this is awesome. This is exciting. I can't stop, look at that. That is so huge. Oh, here for it, I'm living for it. Living, breathing, dying. Oh no, I took a, see, this is why you don't mess with the Leca. I just took like a little piece of a root. I hate myself for it right now. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a good little rinse-a-rooney and be right back. All right, so now the Leca is all rinsed, and I wanted to just go ahead and show you the new growth while I have her out and about. Here is like her main, like most scrumptious growth point. Here is, I don't know if you guys can actually see it. Here is another one right here. Focus. There we go. And then there's like the tiniest baby right here. Right here. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. Can you see that? Let me know in the comments down below if you can see that. Oh, she's beautiful. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for a new leaf to pop out on this mama. So if you guys want, I will just show you real quick, kind of like, sorry, I can't really do a whole lot with the angles. I think that looks better. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of Leca in the bottom and then repot her up. Okay, so now that we've got Queenie all nice and potted up, and we've got our totem all secured to the foliage, and I always loosely secure the petiole to the totem pole because I don't really want it to suffocate it or break anything. So I just want to make sure it's secure, but it's not suffocating. This is also the perfect time to go ahead and show you guys how I feed my plants that are in Leca. Now, BB Plants recommended this. This is Dynagrow Advanced Science Simplified. It's called Foliage Pro Liquid Plant Food 936. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what it looks like. Yeah, definitely recommend this over the general, general hydroponic, the Leca food that everybody recommends. I recommend this guy if you're a beginner just because it is one, much cheaper, and two, much more basic. You don't have to really worry about mixing several different components. You just have one guy and that's it. And I think I paid like less than 10 bucks for this. It is pretty small, but a little bit goes a long, long way. It's just like regular fertilizer in a way. Usually less is more. So I went ahead and filled up my watering can, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add a half of a teaspoon of this hydroponic fertilizer into my water. Remember, less is more when it comes to fertilizer, especially like if you're wanting to try a new fertilizer out on your plants. I would recommend like really heavily diluting it beforehand, and then you can just kind of like work your way up to the recommended amount. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill up the water reservoir up to about a third of the way up. I always like to make sure that I'm wetting the Leca on the top as much as I can, because that's what BB Plants recommended, and I just follow her videos, her Leca videos, to the T. I'm glad that I'm going ahead and doing this now, because I'm obviously not going to be using all of this plant food on just this plant, so I can go ahead and fill up some other plants that I know are running a little low on water, especially a lot of my little Hoya babies and my Albosingonium, which is doing great. It's putting out a new leaf. It looks like it's going to be unraveling, unfurling any day now. Also, speaking of new leaves, my Squamiferum from I Am Queen Envy from Instagram. I did that whole video of me buying a plant off of Instagram. I talked about her specifically a lot, but the plant that I got from her, my Squamiferum, is getting ready to unfurl its leaves, so I'm excited for that. This will be my first ever Philodendron Squamiferum leaf, new leaf that is, and I'm here for it. So I've got her all nice and watered. You can see that the water is about a third of the way up, so she should be good for several weeks. I think I've only had to fill up the water reservoir on her maybe twice or so since I've had her, and I think she's liking that. I think she's been doing good. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about care tips and tricks for this guy. Definitely recommend hydroponics or semi-hydroponics. The roots seem to really respond well to the Leca balls, but I also want to talk about humidity. Now, I'm not 100% sure, like, do not quote me on this. It may be because I live in Florida and the humidity is just naturally higher here, and my resting humidity is setting at 50. Like, every single day, it usually doesn't drop below 50. It's usually higher or never lower than 50. I used to run my humidifier every single solitary day, and that may be what has prompted the new growth points, but I can't say that for sure. But what I can say for sure is that I have been getting really, really lazy with my humidifier, and it is still producing new growth for me. So I don't think that you necessarily have to be pumping out humidity in order for this guy to thrive. I think as long as you, at least for me, I would recommend at least having 50% humidity. Now, if you are in a climate to where it's really dry, then maybe you do need to be running that humidifier daily. I do still get a little bit of crisping, but she kind of came to me with a crispy tip, so I'm not really so worried about crisping, especially because she is putting out several new growth points. I can't wait for those guys to come up so that I can just maybe give this guy a snip, but it'll have to be looking a lot worse than this in order for me to snip it, because it is still really nice, still really velvety. Just has, you know, a few little blemishes here and there, but that's okay. I cannot stress to you guys how much I cannot wait for new foliage to pop up on this guy, and I'm so happy. I'm so proud that me, like, I wouldn't even say that I'm definitely no expert in aeroids or in plants in general, but the fact that I'm able to make one of the more harder, more stubborn plants do well in my environment, like it is like such a proud moment, such a proud feeling. I feel like I'm just doing the right things, like listening to the right tips, the right advice, and that's all we really can do. We can only like learn from our mistakes and then correct them going forward. You always want to listen to everybody else's tips and advice and then consider where they live, you know, in the world. Consider their climate, consider how much humidity that climate has, consider the zone. Everything is different depending on where you live. The sun is different, the humidity is different, everything's gonna be different. So definitely take every tip and trick that you can and just try to mesh that and adjust it to your current living situation. This guy doesn't get a huge amount of sun. It gets like, I'd say medium sun. Like most of my plants that are on my little desk right here get a good amount of medium light. And nobody seems to really be upset about it other than Hoya imbricata, but like Hoya imbricata is a different story. He's a fussy baby, and so is Hoya linearis, but that's not even really like, light isn't really the situation or anything like that. I let it like get really bad root rot and like the Leca sucked for it. So I'm rerooting it. Hopefully we'll see new roots soon. But yeah guys, that is it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you had a few laughs. I love thinking of intros before my videos. That's like one of my favorite things to do, like especially whenever I know what I'm going to be filming. I'll be thinking about intros like all day long. And usually whatever like I think of first is what I stick with, even if it's like stupid. I'll still try and stick with it and try and make it happen. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Don't forget that I still have a giveaway going on. You'll have to check out my massive plant haul that I did a few days ago. Check it out and it'll give you all the details. I will be announcing the winner on my video for the 31st. So the winner will be announced in that video. So stay tuned. And if you like the content, don't forget to hit that like button. If you really like the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!